Okay,
I hate Rangers! I fucking hate them!
Yo, thanks, man. Thanks for the follow. Alright, so we're gonna do Dehkia Cyclops with the Ranger. We're gonna be pretty well buffed aside from an elixir rotation. So hopefully we get lucky with some Dawn Earrings. We'll see how much we can get. Yep. Okay, so this is our spot. We're gonna get that's fueled. So yeah, we're gonna Cabba's with all out attack, so it'll be a little bit spooky at times. We're gonna use that to get an hour, and then just use a perfume of courage. Yeah. Okay. We're at level 2. I have the AP buff, so I think we're good to go. Just want a tent buff, because he spawns like right away, so we need to be ready. If I actually make sure I'm repaired. Alright, let's go. Where the hell is my thing? There it is. Okay, and we pop that. Pretty sure this should be the most money in the game for an Awakening Ranger right now. Before we know anything about what drop rates the other grind spots will have for Debo rings, because that's going to affect what spots are really cooking. Just realize why am I missing is I forgot my elixirs. Not my elixirs, my crystal build is missing these two. Okay, this is going to be maybe impossible. I don't think I can do this without unsummoning the lantern. Just to get a good look at the crystal build. No way. I didn't believe. I should have believed. Well, they did actually. It's on the global lab. So the rings drop from like a variety of grind spots that are over a certain gear requirement. Although there are some that are like... There are some that I would describe as like... Oh, really? You added it there? Like City the Dead? Trolls? Elvia Trolls? In Calphion. But then after that, it's just all the Dehkia spots. So like Cyclops... Thornwood, I guess, probably, I'm pretty sure. Olin's, Ash, you know, Turos. And the other Ulakita spots as well, so Tongue-Eyed Ruins, Dark Seekers, and Legs. All seem to be included. So the income of these grind spots is about to actually go up a lot. Well, the Koreans should be getting it tomorrow, which would mean it's next Tuesday for us, because maintenance is on Tuesday next week, so... They've actually done a couple Tuesday maintenances more recently. I catched you finally. Oh, you mean live? Can you share your crystal presets when available? Yeah, which ones are you looking for, though? Just PvE? Oh, okay. Okay, so what are you doing in PvP? Are you doing uncapped? And what kind of gear do you have? You want to smash evasion players. I mean, the only two things... If you want to kill evasion players, there's a number of options you have, but obviously, really, in that case, all you really want to make sure is you have a... You probably want a bong tier, as well as...
I hate Rangers! I fucking hate them!
Obviously, thank you for the follow. Double improved Elcars. You want the double Jin Viper. Now, whether you go for a full set of ultimate Makalaws to get even more accuracy from that, I'm not so sure. But, yeah, those 5 you definitely want. For you, you'd probably want to also look at your light stones and things. And artifacts. Make sure you have accuracy, ranged accuracy artifacts. And then you might want, depending on how heavy the evasion is, you might want, like, maybe just target openings. But you can also go really hard for it, you know. There are options like maiming. I'm not really going to recommend that for Ranger only because you don't really want to be negating all your defenses on Ranger, but... I mean, Ominous Ring is an option, right? Having a couple accuracy accessories is never going to be a bad thing in PvP, but it would depend on, again, your build. Like, I have 3 crystal builds. One that is pretty much almost full defensive, and then 2 other ones. One is defensive, but to kill DR players. Another one's defensive, but to kill evasion players. So you really just have to look at your own build and what you want. You know, if you want to build like a suck ranger, you really shouldn't struggle to kill anybody. The balance comes in building the defenses, but still having the ability to combo the tankier players you want to kill. So, if you fully committed to damage, you should just be able to kill anybody, even the Shies, to be honest with you, with the right gear. But, yeah. If you're worried about evasion players, like I said, double Elcar with, like, double Jin Viper, and then you want probably a Bong once here, and then cook something in your artifacts as well. Yeah, we have a Valk on your team. You played with Witch for a long time, but you want to main Awakening Ranger. What do you expect with new Evasion DR changes in the position of Ranger in the future? Ooh, yes. Difficult one. Of course, people should play what they like. My concern is that Witch's efficiency in all types of PvE. Witch's efficiency in all types of PvE is insane, so you wouldn't have that concern with Witch. If your concerns are PvP, or sorry, PvE on Witch, I really wouldn't have any concerns. PvE on Witch right now is insane on both specs. You really wouldn't have a problem on anything. That being said, to answer your first part of the question, I don't know. Um, at first glance, it looks like evasion's gonna be really bad, but I don't know. To be honest with you, obviously they had to do something a little bit, but with the changes to the hits in the game, but this whole like basically changing how evasion works, so it won't even be real evasion anymore. I'm not sure. It seems very much bowing to the will of the average Timmy on Reddit who doesn't understand that they don't have enough gear or the right gear to counter evasion and how easy it is to counter evasion. Because when you're a low gear player, evasion seems like the god stat. You want to do both on a single character. Well, Witch is still fine in PvP, but the thing is, it's like Witches are more of a large scale class, whereas even on, I mean, they can handle 1v1, especially Succession, but yeah, definitely more oriented towards our large scale. What class is this? Awakening Ranger. I would say just play the Ranger if you want to, because her endgame PvE is good, and if you're not doing mid-game PvE anymore, you'll be fine. The thing is, Awakening Ranger will be kind of a culture shock coming from Witch in terms of, like, the ease of play, and that's something that'll maybe be off-putting from Witch. Awakening Ranger PvE is a very high APM. Oh, he didn't go as far as I thought he was going to go. Yeah. Well, when they initially released these changes, they basically doubled the accuracy modifier on the example skill, which was not compensation at all. That would basically bust evasion wide open. Like, evasion would just have no chance. And again, there would be Timmies on Reddit with no gear that would be like, yeah, fuck evasion, you know, because they don't get it, right? They don't have the gear to, like, understand. So I don't know if they basically realized that was bad, and then now they're like, evasion won't be evasion, it'll be like a chance to lower damage or something. Like, it sounds pretty gulag, if I'm being totally honest with you. The one thing I would say is it'll be better in PvE than it is now, because evasion in PvE now is useless, which is why I have... Oh, I actually have my DR shit on. Oops. Hang on, let me swap it. Oh, it's because I tagged my... Come on. There we go. It's because I tagged my Megu earlier. Yeah, so... So the reason I have those swaps is because I thought it was taking a lot of damage. That makes sense now. Yeah. DR is king in PvE. It's not even close. So maybe that'll make evasion gear less useless, but... I think he's talking about PvE, and again, evasion is really bad as a PvP stat right now. If you want to be tanky in BDO, truly tanky and effective, you want DR in PvP. And you also want DR in PvE, which doesn't help evasion as it is. Give me a striker or a mystic opponent any day over a Valk. Right, but you don't deserve to hit evasion if you don't have a single accuracy. Like, this makes no sense to me why people complain about this. Oh, I don't understand why I can't hit this evasion target. With your full blaster build with no accuracy accessories, no accuracy crystals, like... I don't have a single accuracy accessory in my evasion build. So when I fight other evasion players, it can be pretty gulag. But the second you start switching in some more accuracy, it becomes very easy to take them on. With no accuracy accessory. But the problem is people want their PvE build only to work. So they have like a Giga AP build that they built for PvE. Which is when they also complain that they're too squishy and there's too much damage in the game when they have literally 0 DP accessories. It's just all AP. But yeah, like... It's also very cheap to counter high evasion. Especially with the accuracy accessories, but you don't even really need them. You come across like an evasion Andy, just pop on maiming. Shit melts. Well, Dawns are the most expensive because they're in the earring slot, but look at the prices of Ominous now. Look at Suros. To be honest with you, if an evasion player doesn't have enough DR, you can just throw on a cheap-ass Pen Lunar. I think what's interesting too is like the Giga DR classes, the ones that are like really tanky on DR versus the ones that are really tanky on evasion. Unrelated to their free stats in either of those two, DP stats, is that like the DR classes all happen to be classes that have incredible amounts of mobility and self-healing. I think that's quite interesting. You know, if you look at like something like Valk, Giga mobility, Giga self-heal. Zerker, Giga mobility, Giga self-heals, you know. What should our total accuracy be? For what activity? If you want to kill an evasion player, you should have 900 plus. Which, closer you get to 1,000, the more dominant you'll be against one. Depends how much evasion. The more evasion they build, the harder it'll be to hit them. But the less damage they'll do to you, so there's no threat to you, right? You want to be able to kill someone that has my build, right? Which is not that much of the accuracy is really needed. It's just full AP won't cut it quite, but just even a little bit of accuracy will. But if you want to fight someone with even more evasion than that, then they're not going to do any damage to you. So you could keep adding on accuracy accessories, and their damage is just going to be laughable. Especially if you have any kind of slight defense, right? The problem is obviously for a lot of people is like their only build is their PvE build. So it's like full AP accessories, you know, and that's it, right? There's no like defensive in mind, you know. People get mad when they die to like hybrid built players that have like 281 AP or whatever, right? Meanwhile, they're like literally no defenses aside from the default from armor, which they have. You haven't sacrificed anything, right? If all your DP comes from armor, there's literally zero sacrifice. Yeah. The thing is, the more geared most people get, the more they start throwing on DP stuff on, because the AP brackets just fall off, so what's the point of keep pumping AP brackets? That's why DR gets so good as well. But you still do have a lot of people that are like new to getting high AP and decent gear, and then everything in their slot is with offense in mind, you know. There's not a single DP accessory inside. With the new changes, I can't see how evasion could be any worse for PvE than it already is, so that could be good, but in terms of PvP, man, we'll see. I'm a big fan of them reducing the number of hits, though, if it's going to really improve server performance in PvP, though. That could be huge. Well, you can't actually dodge the Dehkia mobs, so, you know, it really can't get any worse. I think someone tested on a Mystic that had 1400 evasion. They couldn't evade once against Dehkia Ash Force. Well, it's not going to be useless if they basically make it DR, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, is like the new evasion system's evasion will be like DR, but like a chance to reduce or something weird. Didn't they change that? No. Well, you're thinking of Ulakita. They changed it so that you could grind like Darkseeker's Retreat with evasion. But they haven't touched Dehkia. Wow, my RNG sucks. Not a single earring. They have some like ridiculous modifiers, yeah. Well, the new system is your accuracy will defeat the chance to resist damage or something. Well, I guess you'll have a hard, you won't be able to, Hazy. So if the mobs have like, I don't know, let's say the mobs have like 1200 accuracy, then you'll just have like small chance to reduce damage or something. I don't know. Instead of literally every single hit will hit. I don't know. Yeah, but it's like, it's not their accuracy percent. It's like the accuracy number that matters, like the core number. So if you had like, you know, a certain amount of AP versus damage reduction, it'll work like that, but for accuracy, your AP, think of like accuracy as like AP. And evasion then will be DR, like that, basically. Yeah, but the number is converted right now because you have like a mischance. Whereas the amount that is reduced will depend on how much accuracy they have or not have. Rather than a chance to do something, miss or not. It's not like zero sum anymore. So So like, okay. Yeah, but Pero, it's like, how do I describe it? So right now, right, you have, let's say, you don't have enough accuracy to hit, or you have so much accuracy you hit 100% of the time, actually. Then your percent will be, hang on. Your percent will be, okay, so we hit this, and then you have like 100% chance to hit everything because your accuracy number is so high, right? But now instead of that, it'll be like your accuracy number versus it's almost like having two layers of defense, I guess is the best way to describe it. Maybe it's like you have the DR, so your raw AP of your hits versus the DR, and then whatever the reduction chance is, right? Or not chance, but the reduction number is, because it's not like a chance to reduce. I think it's like they described it as like it literally is like treating accuracy as AP and evasion as CR, basically. It's like an extra level of like layer of like reduction on top of the normal DR amount. So if you have like 1100 accuracy, then your evasion versus that will, you know, not reduce that much damage, but it won't be a chance to reduce. It'll just be not reducing that much. Whereas if you have like, I don't know, 800 accuracy and the player has like 1200 accuracy, then they're going to reduce a lot of damage. If I'm going to be honest with you, not for long periods of time, Nema. If you want to really blast, I don't think it's that comfortable. Most Rangers do have a PvE tag for that reason. She's effective at PvE, but for long periods of time, it gets quite tiring. Yeah, I think it's always reducing something though, Pero. Like DR works now, right? Yeah, you won't miss anymore. You'll always hit, but like there'll be a damage reduction effect based on the evasion amount you have versus the enemy player's accuracy amount. Like AP DR works now. Since everybody already has DR, I mean technically everyone has evasion too. You'll just have like a second layer of defense if you're evasion, or you're relying more heavily on the DR layer of defense if you have DR. Basically, they're panicking because of their reduction of hits. They're worried that evasion will become too random because there will be less hits in the game. Oh, we got a Donner finally. Half an hour to get one, though. It's not average. We're a little below. We'll have to wait till they properly explain it. That's how I got it from the global lab, was that like basically it'll be just like having AP versus DR. It'll just accuracy will be versus evasion in the same exact way. So they'll do like some kind of modifier based on how much evasion you have versus the enemy's accuracy, and that's how much it'll reduce or whatever, rather than like a chance. I'll go read it again later, but yeah. It definitely takes out the RNG, yeah. Yeah. Because they're worried that there are not enough hits on skills to like even out, right? Right now it works because like every hit on an ability has like 8 hits or whatever, right? So over those 8 hits, it's pretty good to get an average of what they should be missing, right? Whereas if the ability only has 3 or 4 hits, you know, one of those big hits missing is potentially more random. So you get more randomness. Even though after a long period of time it would still even out to be the exact amount it needs to be average, over a short period of time, you know, you could miss a huge amount of your combo damage, or you Or for the evasion player, they could be hit for everything, but on average, they should have like at least dodged half that damage, right? That's what they're worried about. So this is the like sort of like solution they've thought about. I don't know. I think that log just absorbed all of Squall Shot. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't know, dude. I mean, the real question was all these new depots in the game and the Fallen God weapons, if they're going to, like, revisit the AP brackets. Because if they don't, you'll get more AP, but people can just keep losing that AP, keep the most important brackets, and, you know, run more DP accessories. Which is scary considering the self-healing some classes have. I mean, that's the thing in balance, like, more than anything else. More than resist and stamina and mobility and, you know, free stats in the gear. Whether a class has self-healing or not,
I hate Rangers. I fucking hate them.
that's the real sleeper. That needs to be addressed. There's so much stuff that's limited in this game because some classes can just, like, giga heal themselves in PvP, so. Do I need to send a friend request in Discord, or I send a friend request he has not accepted? You can't DM him without that? You could just whisper him in game. I think his name is just Pawn. Oh, he's not on right now. Try Moose. Family name Moose. He'll be able to handle it for you. You can just let him know that you tried to add on the Ashes trial. But I think Moose can do it too. Yeah, I mean, like, exactly. Like, you get certain classes low, and they're so tanky, right? Because they're built the arc. No, but they're so tanky, and then they just get up and full heal themselves. I mean, that's outrageous. Like, I don't care who you are. This is not a game that's supposed to have a holy trinity. Everybody's supposed to be DPS. You know, if a Val could full heal herself in super armor, but do no damage to me, I wouldn't mind so much while being that tanky and having that mobility and everything else, you know, all the support kit, right? But the heal, man, I mean, it's not fun when you're, like, a class that can't self-heal and you're extremely low HP, but you're alive, and it's like, oh, let me slowly pop my HP back if someone doesn't heal me. Like, you know. If you did something about self-healing on classes being so, like, poorly distributed, you could probably buff, like, the healing potions. You know, a way to upgrade the infinite HP potion could be added. You can actually create more interesting accessories that have, like, HP regeneration rate. Like, you can't do that stuff while classes can heal themselves so incredibly well, right? Like, all those options for the game developer to, like, create those systems can't be done because you have classes that can heal themselves so effectively. I would love an accessory set that gives you, like, huge amounts of passive healing. That would be so cool. Like, a different way to be tanky is actually self-regeneration rate instead of just purely DP, evasion, or HP. You could, like, heal yourself faster than others through, like, those. That's cool, man. But it would make some classes unkillable, so you can't add it. You can't add that, right? So yeah, I hope they do something about that. Obviously, there's lots of things, like I mentioned earlier, that need to be addressed PvP-wise, but oh my god, man. If they did something about that, we could have some cool stuff in the game. I mean, they might, well, I mean, developers probably play Berserker, to be honest with you, but, I don't want the game to degenerate into Deboreka being the only way to build, you know. We had this discussion a little bit earlier, but I don't want accessories to be dead and it's just be Debo, right? I mean, in PvE, it's really hard to compete against Dehkia because the AP, right? Yeah, I mean, we're not sure, though, Skranks, if that only includes the Fallen God weapons and maybe a new accessory like... Well, we knew the Dehkia ring, but... $360 AP Archer. Not quite that high. I mean, PvE, the AP is always going to be king, and that's a real shame. Unless they add monster damage onto accessories. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with these strengths. We literally just got done discussing it. Yeah, the problem with an accuracy reliant spot was that it, again, because some classes had insane amounts of free accuracy, they just ignored what other classes had to do. Oh. Oh, I was locked in that animation. Oh, it landed on me and killed me. What? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, bro just like landed on me and killed me. Oh my god. Holy shit. That was wild. Yeah, he literally dabbed on me. Oh my god. Holy moly, that was weird. This is why Cyclops is the scariest spot for me. Dehkia Ash Forest is like constant damage, but it's so easy to dodge it. Whereas the Cyclops, like, you either have to choose to try and win through forward guard damage, or you basically have to dodge through PvE iframe. But PvE iframe sometimes just misses anyway, and that roar is so much damage. It's an Awakening Ranger. That roar is so much damage. It's scarier than anything in Ash Forest. Yeah, but again, they're easy to dodge. I never have a problem. Dehkia Ash Forest is like, I don't like Dehkia Ash because it's so stressful all the time in terms of like having to move all the time and not being able to grind lazily. But what I will say is I'm less scared of that spot than this. No spot in this game scares me versus Cyclops. I wouldn't say a lot of people kill Cyclops before the roar, man. What? Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, where is this battle gun? Wait, did one of them pop a pure stone? I can't believe I got dabbed on, bro. They have not given me enough Dawn Earrings this hour to earn that right. No, I don't remember that. I remember the Pearling guy recently. Just use elixirs and kill them before the roar constantly. I'm not using elixirs in PvE outside of Olin's. What's up, Erebus? Loses AFK, okay. Yeah, if you got into end, I'd be really surprised. Not sure they're taking season plus Vel plus journals. Hold relations. I don't know if you know anyone in there. Who was in there in Devour Scene? There aren't that many old school players, really, aside from some former enemies still in there. There's a lot of like newer geared players, you know, like new wave players that like sort of 2020, 2019 maybe. Because you have so many veteran PvPers that just kind of retired. Like Effer and like Zippo type players, you know, that like, weren't traditionally that geared. But obviously, you know, you play a lot, you can catch up quite easily, so. In terms of like super old PvPers, there's not that many. I think like the amount of people I recognize from like really older days of BDO, first few years of like PvPing in any guild isn't that many. So mostly newer, or well, you know, they're not really new anymore, but like people that came into the game later, I guess you could say. To be honest, I'm trying to think like if there's anything pen that I've sold that would have my family name on it. Or maybe the Kudum. I think the Kudum had my name on it. Oh, Ogre. Or Leighton. My necklace, my old necklace. That had my name on it. I remember my Penzarka I sold, but there were no ranges, so I had to sell it as a staff. But it didn't have my name on it because I made it way before they ever added that. I think that's it, though. I'm trying to. I don't think I've sold that many pen things, and even less that would have my name on it. Awakening Ranger. We still got another one, man. We need a third one to make it not a bad hour, though. Oh yeah, Moose is AFK processing. I tag him maybe. Pretty quick, I think. But these things really chunk me with all that attack. Did he reply to you? I told him to whisper you, so or check his whispers. Sorry. Close. Almost gave him my back. That would have been a disaster. Thanks, you want some helps? Hope we get one more area. Oh my god. Trash management, worst part about this one. What do we have? 7 minutes left. How's your digging going, Deadspill? Too much digging. Come on, just one more dawn airing. One more dawn airing. Let's make it an average hour. Yeah, I think they tried to speed up the trials. What did you do your trial on? That was close. Awakening Sage. Oh, we did get a last honorary. Thank God for that. Dead average. Okay, we take those. Dead average hour. That's 3, so it's 2.85 per hour. So, but that's like standard Garmoth rates, which are lower than my kill speed. So I'll just say 3. You don't like Sages? My friend Windy plays Sage and says it's the worst class all the time, even though it's not. So. Yeah, Shy is really good here too. Yeah. Wouldn't say no to another Dawn, though. I think we have time for another Cyclops for the hours over, I think. And the hour right before nighttime. It's probably a good thing the way I've been like taking risks, I guess. That. We'll just wait till the Cyclops spawns. It should be any second now. There we go. Alright, let's go do Stonks. Yeah, let's bring up Garmoth too. It's a little bit scuffed, and again, I haven't been... I mean, maybe one day we'll do a test with the full elixir rotation, but... find it a big faff to have elixirs without a family inventory stuff. Every time I run this route for Calpheum, for whatever reason, I'm brought back to my memories of getting my first tier 7 horse when they got released after breeding them. I remember, like, the feeling of so fast. Good times, man. Now people are just giving tier 9s for free. That's all of it, right? Okay. So let's have a look. Okay, so this is you Cyclops. Level T. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's pretty accurate. 3, 5, 6. 18. 5, 3, 4. That trash is a lot less than I did last time. I know I died once, but still. 57. 3, 6, 4. Oops. 50. 3. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, so 1.7 billion. That trash is worse than I've done before because I was making 700 million in trash, and this is saying that was worse than that. Yeah, it's barely an improvement over this one 4 months ago, so it was definitely scuffed. I might do it again. Not now, but I'll do it again, I think. Because that trash is definitely scuffed. I know I died, and it was a bit of a scuffed start because I didn't have the accuracy correctly because I was running both my evasion gear, which I wasn't supposed to have equipped, and I forgot the accuracy crystals. But even so, I think that should be a lot higher. So we'll probably do it again later.